Hello, it is Independence Day, Direct Mail, Monday, July 4th, 2022. Steve Sipress here in my annual July 4th t shirt. It's about 20 years old, but I take it out and put it on every Independence Day in anticipation of one of my favorite sights to see, which is the evening fireworks celebrating our country's Declaration of Independence. Technically, Declaration of Independence in Congress, in the Continental Congress, July 2nd, but somehow they dated the document July 4th. So here we are. And there it is, my New York City Statue of Liberty fireworks t-shirt, little fireworks up on the top there. That's so old. We even got the Twin Towers over here. That's how you know the shirt is over 20 years old. Still going strong, probably because I only wear it once a year. Okay, anyway, let's get right to it. Even though no mail being delivered on a national holiday, our most national of holidays are July 4th, Independence Day, but I digress. Here's a postcard that landed in my mailbox last week, and it's got a little bit to do with our July 4th national holiday. It is red, white, and blue, and it's got something to do with voting, which when I first moved here with my beautiful wife Michelle from Illinois to Arizona about nearly, I think, 7 years ago now. We got our driver's license. We were told right there, you can also register to vote at the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles. So we did. And she asked me what political party, and I laughed, of course, and said I would not, you could not. Well, I guess you could pay me enough, but there is no way that I'm going to be a member of either one of our current entrenched, corrupt, major, disastrous, horrible, embarrassing, terrible political parties, of course. And she tried to get me to say something by saying, well, then you can't vote in the primary because you have to be in one of the parties to vote in that party's primary. And I was like, oh, well, nice try. But even if it means not voting in half of the elections, there's always a primary, then a general election. Like even if it means not voting the primary, still that's pretty weak. I mean, that's not paying me multiple millions or billions of dollars or whatever it would take for me to actually be a member of one of these decrepit, horrible, outrageously bad organizations. Forget that. And she finally gave up and said, okay, independent. Well, so imagine my surprise when this postcard arrived in the mail. And look at that headline. Independent and unaffiliated voters can, all caps underlined, can vote in the August primary. Now, first of all, that answers the question of that I ask every time I turn on the TV and see nonstop commercials because we apparently have a Senate race and a governor race going on here. We had, I think, a special election, so we have a not even full term senator in office who's up for re-election, I guess, but first election to a full term it would be. And I think our current governor is not running, whether I don't know if it's term limits or he just chose not to run, but that seat is totally up to grab. So there's like 427 candidates for these positions. We see nonstop TV commercials and get bombarded with emails and direct mail and robocalls and whatever. And I'm like, I cannot wait. When is this primary going to be over already? Because at least that'll narrow it down to the two major candidates and we can stop with the commercials. I mean, on the Republican side, it's like, who is more Trumpish? Like, I love Trump. I'm super MAGA. I'm unbelievably America first. I'm going to build the wall and one of them, I love one of them says, we're going to deport illegal aliens that cross the border illegally. We're going to send them back to Mexico. I'm like, first of all, most of them aren't even coming from Mexico, even though they come through Mexico. But second of all, I don't even know, is that legal? I thought that's a federal thing, but like, whatever, they're, they're running for office. They're going to say anything. And then I guess in the case of that candidate, she would do it. and then get sued and just laugh and say, yeah, but I already sent, thousands of them back because thousands of them are coming and trespassing and threatening. I mean, these cartels here, these drug cartels that are trafficking these people across, are coming with machine guns onto people's property that I know here in Arizona, and they're scared out of their minds. I mean, they're like, I can't even, wouldn't even, you know, go out of the house at night. We hear the sounds in the morning. We got to clean the trash up every night. Like these people are not just trespassing through calmly because they're migrants looking to work. Lots of these are criminals. Like it's kind of crazy what's going on. So these candidates are stepping all over each other to talk about how they're going to solve that problem. Even the liberal running for this reelection, who I think I saw something from some candidate running against them that he's voted with uh, 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 Schumer or AOC or whatever, like 100% of the time last year. And then this year, 97% of the time. He's like one of the most socialist, Marxist, communists in the Senate, supposedly. But his commercials were all like, "Oh, I want to fix immigration and I want to lower gas prices and I want to." What? You voted for every Green New Deal scam BS there is. But anyway, I digress. So I asked somebody who I thought from his Facebook posts, good friend of mine and a client. He's totally into politics like crazy. I was over there for the graduation of his daughter a week or two ago, and I was like, "Oh, we're getting bombarded with these ads. You must know, when is his primary ready?" He didn't even know. He's like, "I don't know. Is it? I don't know. October." I'm like, "October. The election's November. Like this can't go on." So at least I know it's sometime in August. We'll be done with this. However, I'm intrigued by the headline that at least this headline claims. This doesn't come from the government. It comes from something called EDF Action Votes. What the heck is that? EDF Action Votes. ED Votes org, something you can't read it because it's all small letters. They're trying to not have people go to the website. Hopefully, you're not doing that with your website, putting all small letters or all capital letters or all nonsense. Like spell it out each word with a capital, of course. Make it easy to read. But anyway, not authorized by any candidate or any candidate's committee. So, and certainly not from the government, but it says a few interesting things here, and I'm totally confused. However, I'm going to take action anyway, and that's the lesson today is there's an age old, as old as advertising, marketing, and sales itself that says a confused mind does nothing. A confused mind doesn't buy. You cannot confuse your prospect with your advertising, marketing, or sales message. You're going to get them to be confused and take no action. In this case, the headline is so strong that the action I'm going to take is to find out more information. So, at least if you've got such a strong promise, such an irresistible offer, even if people don't really understand what it is, but it's so irresistible to them and you've nailed it, they will take steps to take action. So, this is going to have a result. I mean, I'm not sure what result they want because now they say something. Look at this one. The Arizona Republican Party chair, Neil Kelly Ward, is trying to stop you from voting early. Really? And I'm guessing this is a picture, so now it's not Neil, it's Kelly. And I'm guessing she's like somehow, how can a Arizona Republican Party chair stop me from voting early if I'm allowed to vote? I don't even understand. Was she going to stand in front of every voting place, polling place in the state? Like, what are you talking about? But then it says independent and unaffiliated voters can vote in the August primary election. I don't know when that happened. I was told when I first moved here, I haven't even thought about it since, other than like it'd be cool to vote in elections. I vote in elections all the time, ever since I've been allowed to, however many years ago. But you must choose what kind of ballot you want. I don't know what that means. What kind of ballot? I want a ballot. Oh, I know. This one because it's a primary. I gotta choose either a Republican or a Democrat, I guess, unless third parties have primaries. I don't know. So request a ballot. Oh, request a ballot. So this is some Republican sending this. I guess request a ballot for the Republican primary to prove to them that you want to protect your vote. Go to this website now. There, they do it right. Get a ballot. I can read that one. This one again, this company overall, or whoever's sending this, wanted to make it unreadable with the all small letters, but here they did it right. Getaballot.com, or call that number, which I will do tomorrow, to request a ballot, find out what the heck is going on, or maybe I'll go to the website. The only way to protect your vote is to use it? What does that even mean? Somehow, if I don't vote, like I won't be allowed to anymore? Obviously, to protect present vote, you have to use it. That's, I don't know, why would you call it protected? That's just using it. But anyway, and then look at 3 easy steps that I'm totally confused by on the front of the postcard. So, number one, go online, email, or call to request a ballot. Having trouble seeing this. Let's see what it says. Go online to getaballot.com. They do it correct again with the capital GAB to request a ballot. Email voterinfo@riskmaricopa, that's the county we're in, .gov, or call the number. Okay, so number one I got. Go to a website, call a number, send an email. Number two, select the type of ballot to receive. Look at this one. You are located in a predominantly Republican legislative district. Request a Republican ballot to protect your vote. Don't let them take that away. Who's them? Who's them? The Republicans? Who's them? That's attempting to take away my vote. I don't understand. Oh, I guess that's her. That's the Arizona Republican judge. So why is it? Oh, she does he? Is that her pronouns? They? Totally confused. Number three, cast your vote. The deadline to mail your early ballot is if I would ever mail a ballot or drop it in one of these boxes or do anything else so ridiculous and fraught with fraud and obvious cheating going on. Although, what am I talking about? We all know for a fact that voting is the one area in the history of mankind, certainly in this state, certainly in this district, certainly in this country, that is the only area where there is zero fraud and zero crime being committed. We all know that dropping, having a box where anyone can just drop a ballot in there at any time of the day without having to prove who they are or was that their ballot, and they can drop 5 or 10 of them if they want and do whatever they want. That's perfectly secure. We all know that, but of course, uh, I'm being sarcastic because I would never use such a nonsense thing. I will go to vote on election day. I know, novel concept, uh, uh, as I've done for over 40 years. I vote on the voting day when I'm allowed, which apparently now I'm allowed. It's kind of cool. So this says the deadline to mail your early ballot is July 25th. Who cares? After that day, you should drop it off at the polls. No. Or at an early voting location. No. Find a location at maricopa.vote. I guess I'll have to go there. Now that's seems like a government website, but no, I think it would be maricopa.org or .gov. .gov it would be. So I don't even think that's a government. So I don't trust this whole thing. Who knows what the heck's going on here? I'm totally confused. And what about like if I just want to go vote like a normal, well, I guess probably not normal anymore, but like an actual, it's normal to me, actually vote on election day. Go figure how strange that is. What if I just want to vote on election day? Whole thing here doesn't say when election day is. It just says in the August primary. So I guess that's 31 days I have to choose from, although it's probably on a Tuesday, so that's 4 or 5. But I got to find out what's going on, when this is, where to vote, and but I guess first I have to request a primary ballot. I'm not sure. I'm totally confused. So again, you generally do not want to totally confuse people. I don't know what's going on. Why are they telling me over and all that request a ballot for the Republican primary to prove to them that you want to protect your vote? What? I don't have nothing to prove to anybody. I'm just going to vote. I don't need to protect anything. I don't want to prove anything. I don't know why I need to request anything. I just want to show up and vote. Or I guess maybe I got to request because it's a primary. I got to pick one or the other. So first I got to do research on all the candidates just to pick which party I want to vote for. I've never voted it, certainly in Atlanta, in an Arizona primary, and all the states I lived in before were complete one-party rule, what is now far left-wing Marxist, communist, socialist states, Illinois, Massachusetts, New York. I mean, my vote never mattered there. But here, this is what they call the purple state, and it's up for grabs. And so my vote's going to matter. So I got to research all the candidates, figure out which ones I want to vote for or against or whatever, figure out when the election day is and where to go, which is nothing. It says anything on here. The only thing it says on here that I will take action on is it says, and it claims, I will find out if it's true, that I, as an unaffiliated voter, can vote in the August primary. So that's the lesson, is your headline. Well done. They have blasted out an irresistible promise right there. The recipient, I, can vote in a primary. First time I've heard that in 7 years of living in this state. That is strong enough for me to now disregard the fact that I don't understand any of the rest of this stuff. What's this one? If you don't vote in the primary, you may lose your right to choose who represents you at the legislature. If I don't vote in the primary, I lose the right to choose. I can't vote in the general election if I don't vote in the primary. Oh, really? You live in a Republican district, request a Republican ballot to protect your vote. I don't understand. How is requesting a ballot from one particular party protecting my right to vote overall for anyone the heck I want to vote for? Like, totally confused by every single thing on the card, including the headline, which I kind of don't believe because I was told by a government worker 7 years ago that Department of Motor Vehicles, I can't vote in the primary. I didn't hear when that changed. Not that I pay attention to the news or this kind of stuff. But this is the first I'm hearing of it, and it's good news because I like to exercise my right to vote because, after all, I'm an American. And there's nothing more American than voting, even though you can't trust any of the elections, and everyone that loses always says it was rigged and it was false and it was they cheated and it would like. However, it's not going to stop me from voting. And this time, if this is true, I'm going to vote in a primary for a party that I would never be a member of. The whole thing is crazy and confusing. But remember, you want to focus 80 to 90% of your time, energy, know how, thought process, consulting, coaching, help you're getting from anyone. Go to mymilliondollarad.com if you want help from me with your advertising, your marketing, your sales. Mymilliondollarad.com. I'll help you out. But 80 or 90% of your time should be focused on your headline, your irresistible offer. When the irresistible offer is irresistible enough, the whole rest of the thing can be totally horrible and confusing and ridiculous, and yet people will still take some action. So people focus on the colors, my logo, is this a good photo, the bullet points. So what am I? Who the should I put a little envelope here with a one, a two? What? Yeah, 80 or 90% of your time, effort, and thought process is on the headline here. That's all that's needed. It could have been a blank postcard on both sides and only said this: independent and unaffiliated voters can vote in the August primary. And I would have done an online search. I would have asked around, I would have done something to find out what's going on, which is what I'm going to do now. I wouldn't have done whatever, I don't know, getaballot.com. Maybe I'll go to that too. So, yeah, means of response to. So the headline, and then just below it, phone number, website address, email address. That's all you need is the headline and a means of response. And then you'll see that if that headline is fantastic, you don't need anything else and you will get responses. I am proving that point because I will respond somehow to this postcard, even though, hey, if you can understand it from what I've just showed or anything else, post that, please, wherever you're reading this or listening to it or watching it. Like, explain to me what the heck is going on. Otherwise, you can if you want. You don't have to, because tomorrow I will be figuring out what the heck is going on. However, kind of cool and kind of a cool message for Independence Day, the most American of holidays, of days of the year, where I'm wearing my red, white, and blue and put up the new flag today and gonna watch the patriotic concerts, singing "I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy" and all that stuff with the fireworks going off. Like, and what a day to find out that I actually get to vote in an election I was told 7 years ago I would never get to vote in. Very cool. Hope you are also having a fantastic day here in the U.S. Happy Independence Day if you're elsewhere in the world. Sucks to be you. You're not in the greatest country in the world, but we love you anyway. So that'll do it for Direct Mail Monday. I will catch you back here again tomorrow on Topical Tuesday. Thanks for being here today, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Over and out. Bye bye.